Good morning. My name is Olufumilayo Tubi, formerly Da Silva, and I'm here with our weekly tip to improve our practice. Today I'm going to be talking about lesson plans. Okay, the children have come to school, you've welcomed them, presumably they're settled, and you want to teach the reason why they're here, anyways, for you to teach them. The lesson plan. The lesson plan should have the date, it should have the subject, it should have the week and the topic, and the learning objectives. The learning objectives should be able to understand. No, it should be by the end of the lesson, the children or the learners should be able to do one. You list them. Maybe the first you arrange them from the task or the low ability to the high ability expectations. Words like lists, like describe, like define, like compare, like arrange, like recognize, or like analyze, like apply. And then we go to the material, the resources. Remember that you are teaching learners of different abilities and learning styles. And so the resources should consider that. There should be resources for your high ability learners, the ones that finish on time. There should be resources for your low ability, for your kinesthetic, visual, auditory learners. So when you give a starter, that hooks their attention for the lesson. Then you go to the beginning of the lesson to introduce the lesson, what you're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing, and how does it fit into the whole picture? How relevant is it to their life? And then when you have finished this, you shouldn't speak for more than 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, you've lost their attention. Then you transit. Transitions are important. You go to the next phase of the lesson, which should be activities. Make sure it's collaborative. This is the 21st century. They're learning to work in a group. Many children, especially the high flyers, they don't like being in groups. They feel they slow them down or whatever. But make sure, what I do is to ensure that the high flyers are in a group and their task is tasking, so it keeps them occupied. And time each activity. When you have finished the activity, the timed activity, move on to the recap or plenary. And in that plenary, you get to know if the lesson objectives were realized. Remember to share these lesson objectives at the start of the lesson. By the end of the lesson, I'm going to be expecting that you can do A, B, C. So they themselves are reflecting. Then sometime during the lesson, remember to ask them or to tell them or to remind them, don't forget that you're supposed to be able to do A, B, C at the end. And then at the end, when you've done the plenary, you can then ask, do you think you have met the objectives? Even for the learners in the preschool, you can ask them to draw a smiley face or a frowning face. If they've enjoyed the lesson and they understand, a smiley face. If they didn't understand, a frowning face. It helps you to assess your lesson, and you're developing reflective learners. They can think on their lesson. And don't forget that you share the homework before your time is up, because if you don't share it, the tendency is to rush the homework. You need to be able to explain the homework and, if possible, give an example so that they're enabled to do it by themselves and they don't have to go giving somebody else to do. The lesson teacher will do it for them or their parent will do it for them. Once they understand it, then they can do it. Then you can have a total feedback of how the lesson went. This has been Olufumilayo Tubi talking about effective lesson plans. Have a good week ahead. Bye.